South Africa are in complete control on day 2 of the second test against Zimbabwe. Record stumbled for Wiaan Mulder. South Africa declared and then enforced the follow-on, and they are now in a very strong position to win this match and then, of course, the series. But Zimbabwe are fighting back in their second innings, looking a lot better in the middle than they did in their first innings. So let's discuss every single thing on today's show, because that's what it is all about. This is the review show, and we're going to be discussing what happened on day 2 of this test match. We're also going to discuss that decision from Wiaan Mulder to decide to declare instead of going for Brian Lara's record, and what he said about that when asked the question. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream, please. Very important that you guys do that for me so that we can get into YouTube algorithms. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen right now, as well as in the description. So without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get straight into the show and discuss everything that took place on day 2. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we discuss everything that happened on day 2 of the second test between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Okay, let me get my mind straight. Let's do this. What happened on today's play? Okay, so ultimately, South Africa were, of course, dominant today. Completely dominant. And particularly coming in and being ruthless with the bat. I feel that that's the most important thing to probably highlight when it comes to this performance, is the way we performed with the bat today, particularly Wiaan Mulder, the way he continued to pile on the pressure. And even though Deva Brevis only got 30, he was a good partner for him through some milestones. But what it took place in this particular match. So Brevis got the day started with a beautiful straight drive for 4, punishing a full delivery. And from that moment, you could see Zimbabwe were missing the point on this wicket where they needed to bowl. They needed to bowl, obviously, on a good length on this wicket and flirting with that outside edge and the off stump. But they didn't do that consistently. They did give a couple of free deliveries, fuller deliveries, and leg side deliveries that were easy to put away. Mulder found an edge for 4 to settle his nerves and get himself started. And then he went on to score the highest score as a South African captain, passing Graeme Smith's record of 277 versus England in 2003. He also went past, obviously, A.B. de Villiers' 278 against Pakistan in 2010 for the second highest score in Test cricket by a South African at that point in time. Then Brevis was dropped in the slips on 24, and then he went on to bring up South Africa's 500 with a cut shot through the gully for 4. And then Matagimu nicked off Brevis for 30, unfortunately. SA were then for 513 for 5 at that point, and that was a little bit sad because I wanted to see Brevis kick on and maybe score a half century or even more, a century. Already with the highest score as a test captain, Mulder continued to break records. He brought up his 300 with an eye on Hashim Amla's record of 311 not out against England in 2012. And 3 boundaries in the 102nd over took him over the line. He got and took him to 315 not out for the highest score as an African in test cricket. He continued to add to that. He put on up the 3rd highest test score by a captain, surpassing Mark Taylor's 334 not out against Pakistan in 1998. He then continued to play amazing shots. He was very expressive today, played aggressively, and he chipped away at the legends above him on that list. Calvarena supported him well with a 42 not out. And then Mulder ended up with 367 of 334 balls, guys. I mean, look at that score right there on the screen. It is ridiculous the way he batted. Strike rate of 109.88, four sixes, 49 fours. Unbelievable performance from the guy. He really put in a magnificent performance, I must say. And South Africa decided to declare at lunch on 6:26 for 5. He now has the fifth highest score in Test history and the third highest as a captain. During lunch, the Proteas declared. Cody Yusuf struck first ball to dismiss Caetano, then Bosch, then dismissed Myers, and for one, and then Zimbabwe won 4 for 2. Terrible start for them. Yusuf then struck again, dismissing Walsh. He got an inside edge onto his pads, and the catch was taken at Gully, and then Zimbabwe were 15 for 3 after 6.5 overs. But Zimbabwe did manage to make it past the 50-run mark, but they lost another wicket in Craig Irvine, popping the ball back to backward point, and that was in the 17th over. And then over later, Mulder forced Wesley Madeva on 25 to chop it onto his stumps, and Zimbabwe were now struggling on 56 for 5. Wiaan Mulder picking up 2 wickets, including his triple ton, so brilliant from him. Then Tsiga top-edged Senator Mutasami to short cover, and Zimbabwe 82 for 6. T was called with him on 88 for 6. And then despite passing the 100 after T, Prince O'Brien, I must say, was fantastic today. And he took his first test wicket of Masakatsa, edging to slip. Then Sean Williams was phenomenal, again as per usual. He has been in immense form. He took 32 balls to bring up a half century. He showed the Zimbabwean batters how to bat on this wicket. But then O'Brien continued to take wickets. Matugimu for the duck, 121 for 8 they were at that point. And then O'Brien got his third when he forced Mazarabani to guide the ball to mid-off. Zimbabwe were 135 for 9 at that point. And then O'Brien wrapped it up for his fourth, taking out Shavanga. That was after Mutasami got a wicket, but it was a no ball. So he finished with figures of 4 for 42 today, O'Brien. And Zimbabwe were all out for 170, and South Africa obviously enforced the follow on. But they got off to a decent start this time around, taking them to 31 for 0 after 9 overs. But then Corbin Bosch bowled Myers for 11. And by the end of the day's play, Zimbabwe won 51 for 1. And they were obviously they're trailing by 405 runs at this point. So as you can see, the figures from South Africa over here, the figures for South Africa over here. Look here, Sean Williams on 83 or 55 balls at the moment, 150 strike rate. He's brilliant, playing brilliantly. He played brilliantly in that match, in that inning. So the figures over here, 2 for 20 for Cody Yusuf. He also bowled well, 1 for 27 for Corbin Bosch, 2 for 20 for Wiaan Mulder, 1 for 59 for Senator Mutasami, and 4 for 42 for Prince O'Brien. And at the moment, it's obviously 51 for 1. And that's where it has ended for the day's play. So that's the review, guys. That's what I have for you about that. And Mulder spoke afterwards. They asked him about the declaration and why he decided to declare when 400 was in his reach. And his answer was that legends of the game are legends for a reason. And they have put themselves in the history books, having batted phenomenally to get themselves there. And Brian Lara is a legend of the game. And he feels that the legends should be respected. And that's why he decided, and he felt that they had enough on the board, and they spoke to Coach Shukri, and the both of them decided, let's just declare here and leave the legends to have those records. If he has another opportunity to take that record down, then he hopes he can do so then. But that's what he decided. A very humble response from Wiaan Mulder. And to an extent I can understand. It kind of makes a mockery because of I don't want to talk badly about Zimbabwe, But legends of the game have done it against better teams. Amla 311 against England in 2012. So to an extent, I can understand their thinking. But when you got an opportunity like this in your grasp to make history, take it, man. I mean, no one you might never ever get a chance to be able to put yourselves in the record books like that. And maybe that's a selfish way of thinking. But I do also respect him for having that opinion. But come on. I mean, 400 is on the table for you. And the chances, and you batted extremely well to get there. Take that record, man. You deserve the record. You might never get an opportunity like that again. So, yeah, I get it. But also at the same time, yeah, take it. I mean, would I? I'm trying to put myself in his situation. Would I have done the same thing after a conversation with the coach? Maybe, probably, I would have done the same thing as Wiaan Mulder. It's a very humble move from the skipper. But at the same time, I'm thinking 400 with my name on it forever because it's very seldom that people get put into the position to score 400. Ish. I don't know. I would have been tempted. I'm not going to lie. Devil and angel situation right here on my shoulders. Okay, so let's go into the live comments. Sarfa says, man, even though it was the dominant performance from South Africa in recent memory, Mulder's premature declaration when he could have broken the world record was just baffling. Mulder's first of all proved us all the doubters like us wrong with another 100, but nobody thought he had the ability to get it real big. Still, that he was 34 runs away from breaking the world record. Tala says, I really want to know what was going on in their minds when they decided to declare when there was a world record to be taken. I just explained what Wiaan Mulder had to say about it. I don't think there was any harm going for 400. There's no way you're going to get another chance. I am speechless. Craig says, Polly interviewed Mulder now and he said he wanted to leave Lara's record as he's a legend and it was time to bowl. Shows how humble and respectful he is for the game, as these were difficult runs. Yes, and that's exactly my point of view right there, Craig. So well done. You put it spot on over there. Tabo says, I know Mulder respects Lara, but as a batter, sometimes you have to be selfish because no one is going to remember this knock. If he crossed the 400, the world would be talking about it for years and it would have been everywhere in the papers. Sarfa says, Deva Brevis needs to, or online, on I don't know how many papers there are still published around the world. Deva Brevis needs to sort his mind out. It's not T20 format. Here, game awareness and reading of the ball bowler's delivery is important. Man, he is really disappointing himself and other well wishes. Um, I didn't take like Maharaj's captaincy, and I didn't like Mulder too. Both could not be captains, never. Safa says, this is just dumb and naive from Mulder to not break the world record just because he respects Lara too much. If there is a world record break, then go for it. I agree. Maharaj wanted to do everything himself. Now Mulder is dumb. Why even give follow on when batters have 3 more days to get some runs? As Digashu says, master stroke again from Shukri with handing Mulder the captaincy. Now he will back himself more. Tex says, this is the most stupid declaration I have ever seen. As Digashu says, Yusuf to replace Pato in the main squad. It's an interesting one. I'm a big fan of Cody Yusuf and the lines and lengths he bowls. And he has a little bit more pace than the likes of Pato, of course, because he's much younger, of course. In my times, says stupid logic by Mulder by respecting Lara. He kind of disrespect country batters from SA would have been in history. Just Ginger Josh's cuck excuse. Should have been a legend himself. You will never get that opportunity again. Most batsmen don't get that opportunity. Carlos Sash and AB Ponting, none have come close. In Watan's case, he's respected Lara. He should have declared before breaking Amla's record too. That's a good point. Sarfa says this proves that Coach Shukri totally had a hand in the declaration. In Watan's case, Shukri should have clapped Mulder to give some brain during lunch. Takes according to Mulder, Lara being the legend of the game so far, him it's did not feel right to go for 400. So AB and Amla are not legends. He went past his 278 and Amla's 311. Nah, man. And he went past Graham Smith as a captain, even though he might never captain again. So it is a bit of a baffling decision because, I mean, what about Graham Smith as a captain? He broke Graham Smith's captaincy record, but he doesn't want to go past Brian Lara. That is a little bit of a shocker for me. Sarfa says, you will not believe Mulder is trending number one on Twitter in India. In my touch cases, I wanted to say slap. I know. I thought you meant club. I'm speaking from a South African standpoint. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, that is a bit shocking for me as well. Let's look actually what's happening in the news with regards to Wiaan Mulder. Let's see if anybody's been saying anything um, about this. Let's actually, what I'm gonna do is let me bring up Facebook, because our Facebook goes completely mental in the comment sections, etc. So let's have a look on Facebook quickly what people have had to say about this. Um, um, and him not taking that, him not. Oh yeah, on the declaration. Let me go here, and I'll bring it up on the screen right now, guys. Just wait, it's just loading. Okay, let's just. Where are you? You there? Alrighty then. There, a little bit smaller so I can read you. Okay, let's open it up. Share screen. Chrome tab. Facebook. Nope, no sound. And make sure that I can do that. Yo, it's difficult to be your own producer, guys. Anyway, so let's read out some of these comments quickly. Why declare? 400 was on the cards here, says Granville. Siraj Campbell says South Africa team management did very bad with deserving, talented Mulder. He easily surpasses the 400 mark, man. If there was Temba Bavuma in place of Mulder, then the Clown management could have waited up to 2 more days for Bavuma to complete that 400 individual score. Some that's really Clown of CSA and the management, says Siraj. So they didn't want him to score 400, says Ronald. He is declared he is the cap. He declared he's the captain. Sydney says that's a stupid declaration. Mulder closing in on 400, and that 400 would have been phenomenal. Kathy saying, why declare? Jacques saying, dumbest declaration ever. 11 sessions left in this match. They will balsam out 3 times in 10 of them. Bad decision, says Nachlankla. Hlangla. I think that's how you pronounce it. Brian says, horrible call. Lochner says he's feared as the West Indian Trinidad Tobago cricket fans hate him, Wiaan Mulder. Reginald says should have allowed him to score 400. Grant says pathetic decision. Christo says shocking call. So much time in the match due to the almost 6 and over run rate achieved. Coaching management will forever regret the decision, as it will be brought up time and time again as they not continue, even if just with a milestone of 400 reach. Shocking, pathetic. And don't come with excuses of the team first when it's quite normal for any team to be batting first 5 sessions. Showing respect to Brian Lara when it's disrespectful to Mulder to not let him carry on. Records are there to be broken, and we owe record holders, Brian Lara in this instance, for call. David says 23 runs short. It's actually not. It's 33 runs short. And Bruce says that's a bad call and doing Mulder wrong. So that's been the comments on Facebook so far, and I'm sure if I go on Twitter, it will be even more hectic, and I don't want to see that right now. Twitter depresses me, puts me in a bad mood. So I'm not going to even go there. But that's some of the comments that you can see from some of the people on Cricket Fanatics Mag's Facebook page. But on that declaration, talking about that declaration. Okay, so let's see some other comments over here from you guys. How do you rate captaincy from Mulder and Maharaj Khalid? I didn't like both of it. It was all right. The evil Jabberwocky 1605 says, I think we should respect his decision before he hit Lara's record. It shows the kind of man he is. But saying this coming from on Wiaan, I would could barely wait for his morning, for this morning. Bleak. Sarfraz Mulder is really looking very naive with the statement. He will not realize this, but he will later regret this later on in life. Yeah, we'll see if he regrets it. Not one person agrees with the decision, and not a lot of people agree with the decision at all, actually. I am shocked that that he made the decision. I mean, I would have liked to see a South African holding that record. Would have been nice, you know? I mean, if that is your mentality, you don't want to really break the record of the yeah. But you see, when he was on 311, they didn't have as much on the board, obviously. So they made a decision purely on the game, and then also on Lara. I think the whole world would have wanted to see this. Actually, a lot of South Africans would have liked to see him break the record. Tala says, but come on, man, the whole world was very keen on Mulder breaking that record. Okay, there we go. Craig says, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but you're not him, and you need to respect the way he wants to live his life and be viewed. People are being so disrespectful. And that's the thing. And you're right. And that's why I said at the top of the show, the decision that he made, I can understand, and I respect him for making that decision. We can have our opinion on whether we would have done it or not in that situation. Like I said, if I had a conversation with Coach Shukri in that moment, I might have maybe made a similar decision to respect the opposition, to respect the legend of the game. But how much of this decision had to do with who we were playing? Because then that's disrespectful to Zimbabwe. If you understand what I'm saying. So a lot of this would have how much of the decision would have had to do with the fact that they were playing Zimbabwe. That is playing in my mind right now. Tala says, I'm telling you, he's going to regret it. Sarfa says, Craig, no one disrespectful towards him, but holding him accountable for premature declaration. Yeah, I mean, they decided to do that. It is what it is right now. So we just have to respect the decision that he made and now move on. South Africa need to wrap up this game very quickly with tomorrow. That is something that we need. Lorenzo says, did Coach Shukri really tell Mulder that? Wiaan Mulder said that he had a chat with the coach and they both decided to make that decision together. So that is something that the both of them discussed, according to Wiaan Mulder's post-match interview. I can bring it up for you on this. Let me see if they had a conversation about it. If anybody has recorded it, because I'm sure they must have. Someone must have written about it or something. Let me just see quickly. I'll read out the exact statement for you guys if I can find it quickly. It's taking a bit long. Just hold on. Gee whiz, are you going to take 500 years to load? Can you hurry up, please? Let me see. Okay, here we go. To be on how he's feeling. Okay. To be honest, I have never even dreamt of getting a double hundred, let alone a triple hundred. Most importantly, it has put the team in a good position to win this test. When I started playing for South Africa, I was nowhere near good enough. Have had the opportunity to learn from some of the great players, past and present. Going to England really gave me a chance to understand what kind of batter I want to be and figure out my weaknesses. Lots of lessons from my time in England. There were so many thoughts like, you have got enough. When I got bowled on 247, a lapse of concentration. There was so much negative negativity happening, but there was a lot of positive thinking happening as well. So let me just bring this. I just want to bring this up on the screen quickly for you guys so that you can see it, so that you guys can have it, do whatever you want with it. um, so that I do share it with you guys fully. Um, uh, then he goes on to say, can you guys see that right? And let's make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't cut off the words. Okay, there we go. Going to England, da, 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 da. But there was a lot of positive thinking happening as well. Just singing my song between balls, trying to keep myself natural and present. Tried feeling my shoes to stay in the moment and not think too far ahead. He was singing Zombie by the Cranberries, by the way. When I went, rest in peace to the lead singer. When I went past Hush's um, score, I did not notice at first, but it was pretty special. In Bangladesh, it was an Afrikaans song that I was singing whenever I got stuck in this innings. It gets me, and sometimes I sung out loud to give me present on the declaration. First things first, we had enough to bowl at. Brian Lara is a legend. He got 400 or 401 or something against England. And for someone to keep that record, it is special. I spoke to Shooks and spoke about letting the legends keep that record. Lara keeping that record is exactly the way it should be. So that's the words of Wiaan Mulder. All right. That's the exact words of Wiaan Mulder for you. So not just my paraphrasing. Okay, Reinhard says, Khalid, look at it this way. Had Mulder broken Lara's record, that would have belonged to South Africa. And the way West Indies playing Test cricket right now, they do not deserve to hold that record. That's I wouldn't have had a problem with him doing it either. I was hoping that he was going to. But after listening to him speak and stuff, I respect his decision, but I would have liked him to break it. I wanted a South African to hold that record. Craig says premature declaration, not for the team and its decision. Whether he wants to break the record or not you. Damned if he did or not. Everyone would belittle the record because it was Zimbabwe. Tala says, come on, man, this is the stupidest decision I've seen in cricket. A world record is world record. It doesn't matter against who. Evil Jabberwocky 1605 says, personally, I don't think I would have been able to give up holding a record. That's going to take a long time to beat. I don't think so either, to be honest. Maybe that's just, I don't know. Reda said he would regret it 100%. Possibly he would regret it. We'll have to wait and see down the line if he will or not. Maybe he believes himself that much that he feels that he can do it and have an opportunity to do it again sometime. Let's see. We can only wait and see for that. But these opportunities don't come a lot. And I mean, if you look at the highest scoring lists, I think Matthew Hayden is number 2. I think it was. And he scored 380 against Zimbabwe in Australia. I think that is the second highest score. Evil Jabberwocky says, exactly, a Safa should hold the record, sob. I don't know if you mean the abbreviation of what it means, but I'm going to read it out loud. If that's what you bet, or you bet sob as sad. Reina did AB hesitate when he broke Afridi's 36 ball 100 record. Wilbur Stanley Pinar says he didn't get 400, but I think he's quite content with all of the other records. Big respect for Mulder. I do respect his decision, I'm not going to lie, but it's sad as well at the same time. Wesley, if Mulder had broken Lara's record, can you imagine the publicity that South African cricket would have been given? Test cricket needs that publicity in SA. A big chance missed. That's another interesting way to look at it as well. But decided... it's sad. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. So, yeah, Lorenzo says, fair play, I 100% disagree. Do you think if it was Australia, England, you could have given a damn about Lara? No. That's what I said earlier on. I think it's before you logged in. I said, I wonder if you would have made the same decision if it was against England, Australia, or any of the other teams. Did they make the decision because it was Zimbabwe? Because that will be disrespectful then to Zimbabwe. So either way, you're going to make the wrong decision because there would have. Let's be real. Even if you did score the 400, there would have been someone saying some bullshit about this. I did a video yesterday on TikTok summarizing this double stun of Mulder and the way he was playing. And I was getting destroyed not destroyed, but a lot of people were talking negatively in the comments about what I was saying. They're like, how can you be reporting this? And um, what type of content creator are you that you are actually reporting this? Like that's against Zimbabwe and bull crap like that. So even if you got the 400, there would have been some idiot in the comments talking shit. NY Times Square said, how is WTC and 400 related? No, I think, oh, shit. Craig said, I think winning the WTC against Australia means a lot more than 400 against Zimbabwe. I don't understand this wokeism from Mulder. I mean, let's just respect his decision, guys. We are all disappointed that he didn't go and break it because it would have been nice to have a South African there to do so. But let's respect his decision and move on now. So South Africa in a strong position, and that's my review show for the day. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Very important that you do so that you get notified on when we go live, when we upload videos, all of that. Also, once the stream has ended, please comment in the comment section below as well. Leave your comments there too. Let me read a couple of more comments. Dex, imagine the brand value Mulder would have had to break the record. Happy for Mulder, though, says Lorenzo. If he can continue with his form, I'll be happy with him at 3. After all, might be another Shukri masterclass. Talha says the whole of South Africa is disappointed. Anik Bird says opinion on Mulder's knock with brands Adidas, Calvin Klein, and Supersport on him. Thanks, Khalid. Hey, you know me, so Khalid, you must spell my name right, eh? Yeah, my opinion on Mulder's knock. I gave my opinion on his knock already on the top of the show. Brilliant, brilliant knock from him. I like the way he approached the knock. I like the strokes he played, the aggression that he showed. He didn't really have a lot of luckiness or luck on his side when it comes to this. He didn't really have lucky shots, so only really one when he got dropped. But other than that, overall, a brilliant performance from Wiaan Mulder. Robert saying historic Mulder. Yeah. Calv. Anyway, so thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to do all the things for me: subscribe, comment, etc. Smash the like button. Do all of those things for me, please. Very important that you do so. It really helps the channel to get into recommended feeds, etc. If you do so. So, talk to you guys again tomorrow with another review show. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of the evening, and peace out, everyone.